A historic landmark on the east side of Sioux Falls. It's showing its age and is in need of repair. The floor is giving way inside the nearly century-old chapel at Mount Pleasant Cemetery. The cemetery is launching a fundraising campaign to repair the creaky floor with the hope of eventually reopening the chapel to the public once again. Perry Groten has this rare look inside the chapel and what lies beneath in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND.
It's the majestic quartzite gateway to Sioux Falls' oldest cemetery.
You talk to people that grew up on the east side, this is something they remember walking by on their way to school.
The Glidden Memorial Chapel was built in 1924 to host funerals and other services at Mount Pleasant Cemetery, which has been around longer than South Dakota's been a state.
This was where you got buried if you died in Sioux Falls. This was the cemetery.
The chapel is a source of family pride for Cemetery Board Vice President Herb Rosine. His great-uncle designed the building.
I remember it from my childhood when we drive by or if we came through the cemetery, my mom would always remind me, you know, your great-uncle designed this building, and that was really cool.
In 1987, the chapel was listed to the National Register of Historic Places, honored for its late Gothic Revival architecture.
It's a beautiful design. People have no idea how gorgeous it is inside. With all the stained glass, the ceilings that are in here, and the flooring.
The chapel has undergone 3 restorations through the decades. It has the battle scars of damage by vandals and a lightning strike. Even a tractor once plowed through the building.
A tractor fell through the floor when it was being used as storage by the cemetery for the lawnmowers and things like that. They actually had to take the tractor out of the basement with a crane.
But it's the accumulation of moisture, not another tractor, that threatens the chapel floor today. The moisture is eating away the substructure underneath the floor.
The flooring in here, when you look at it from above right now, it looks like it's okay, but underneath structurally, it needs a lot of work.
The steel beams have been exposed and rusted, and we're seeing decay in the terracotta in between them that creates the support of this floor.
It's been 3 years since the last service was held inside the chapel.
We agreed with the city not to bring the public in here for any event or anything like that until we could, determine that the floor was stable and safe in the long term. I don't want 150 people sitting in here and then have a beam giveaway.
But stabilizing the floor will require an estimated $250,000 in repairs and upgrades. The cemetery is calling on the community for help with the cost.
Because I want to see it be used again. I want to see the community be able to enjoy it. I want families to be able to use it for funerals or a place to gather afterwards.
The longer that we wait, the worse that it will get, just with deterioration of the flooring. Some of the walls, some of the structure itself needs some minor repairs. But the sooner we can do it, the better.
The basement of this chapel wasn't a place for people to gather after the service and enjoy cookies and coffee. This was where bodies were stored over the winter time for burial in the spring once the ground thawed.
It's a little eerie, to be honest. Not a place most people want to visit.
But Gage and cemetery board members believe people will want to visit the chapel once the repairs are complete. Gage says smaller startup congregations have asked him about renting the chapel for Sunday services. The chapel also has potential as a wedding venue, but it will take an act of faith and generosity from the public to raise the money for repairs.
If I can save this, it'll be amazing.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Perry Groten.
The cemetery board has contracted with a structural engineer to come up with a plan for the renovations. If you'd like to make a donation or learn more about the history of the chapel, we'll have a link to the cemetery's website in this report from Perry on KELOLAND.com.